Welcome in, guys. Coming off a big Wednesday, 4-3 night. Some big dogs in there. D-backs plus 200, Brewers plus 160. Also mix in a 3-unit bang on the Rangers. So big day, plus 6.75 units. That makes it 4 of 6 days since the All-Star break. Winning days, John. Running hot right now. Got to be feeling good heading into the weekend slate.
Yeah, I hope you guys are coming back after yesterday. As we were doing the podcast, we got that lineup with Tampa Bay, no Rutz Arena, no Juan DeFranco. Tampa Bay going with a bullpen game. They had the Orioles next. It just had all the makings of a give-up game, getting ready for this series. That was a 3-unit bet. We don't usually send out mega, super whale, whatever you call it. So once in a while, we have a 3-unit bet, and you guys caught it right here as it was happening. So hope you guys keep coming back and watching the podcast every day. Big day yesterday, as Ben said, 4 winning days out of 6 since the All-Star break. We'll just keep this right on going right into football.
And for all of you guys who have been tuning back in, if you haven't yet, please subscribe, like, comment below. John, smaller card today, only 10 games on the Thursday slate, but some really good pitching matchups. Some guys coming in off of the IL, so a lot going on with the pitching today. First one, I know we just talked about it beforehand, Strider and Gallen as far as MLB.com's rankings on the Cy Young. They have them 1 and 2 right now in the NL with Gallen and Strider. Strider leading the league in strikeouts, both guys with 11 wins. Gallen does have rough road numbers, 2 and 4, 5.11. Had a quality start versus Braves earlier this year. And Strider, he had a quality start versus the D-backs earlier this year. He has had some rough home splits, 4 and 2, 4.30. D-backs getting it done so far in this series. Another big price for a couple of better pitchers here in baseball. I got to be D-backs or nobody.
D-backs or nobody. The whole series price has been ridiculous. Arizona came in cold, but so did Atlanta. Atlanta, there's always that natural regression. Look, no more so than Tampa Bay. We talked about it from the beginning of the season. Nope. Tampa Bay was not going to continue playing the way they were. Let me get off the track for a second. So just to go to Tampa Bay, and we'll get there again. Tampa Bay was 51 and 22 on June 16th, just last month. 29 games over 500, then 9 and 17 since then. It's going to be some drawback. They started to fall. Atlanta catapulted to be the top team. Finished off the first half 27 and 5 run playing out of their mind. And again, here's some natural. We just get so far ahead. You just come back to the pack a little bit. Every game's not that intense. But this was a crazy line. The whole series was, and today is too. So you get 2 guys that Major League Baseball says are the top 2 candidates for the NL Cy Young. Arizona, 3rd best road record in baseball. They're the 2nd highest road scoring team. Mm-hmm. And you're going to make them $1.75, dude. We'll take it again. Will Arizona sweep? I don't know if they'll sweep, but I know the number is too high. I'm on Arizona for 1 unit.
Yeah, shout out our guy, Arlam. I think he's been a member now for 2 years. Said in the chat yesterday, Braves were due for a home win. And, the answer to that was, they're due to continue regressing. They've been due for losses for a few months now, and they're going to start coming here. So big price on this game for a Braves team who's cold right now, 4 straight. We'll see if they make it 5.
I use the expression, the only thing that is due is the rent. There is no such thing as due. Follow the trend. The team is winning. Let's think they're going to keep winning. Don't say, they're due for a loss. The team's losing. They're due for a win. No, follow the trend. I always use the same analogy as at the dice table. Three numbers come out in a row. You make 3 points. Not going to bet don't pass. Keep betting. Follow the trend, guys.
Trend is your friend. Next matchup, John, another great pitching matchup. Giants versus Cincy. Going to be Cobb versus Abbott. Cobb, Giants have won 10 of his last 11 starts. Last 2, both quality starts, 1 run in 12 innings. And Abbott, 6 of his 8 starts are quality starts. Last one coming against the Brewers. Start before that, he was roughed up by the Brewers, but had to bounce back there. So great pitching matchup there. Reds finally snapped a losing streak. Giants snapped a win streak. Giants had won 7 straight. Reds had lost 6 straight heading into yesterday. Reds get the win, and now they have a chance to even up the series. This is a really tough game, a really good pitching matchup. Would be a slight lean here to Cincinnati. We talk about it once you break out of that. Even Oakland breaks out of their 8-game losing streak, and they pair together 2 wins against Boston. So we'll see if something similar here is with Cincinnati, maybe Giants on the back end of this trip now. drop this one as well. But not looking to go against Cobb, who has just been terrific. And 110 of his last 11 starts. I would need more here with the Reds, John.
Yeah, we need a little bit more as the home dog up. Both teams resting some guys today. Lamonte Wade Jr., he missed last night. He would have probably sat anyway against the lefty today. He's out. Conforto leads the team in homers, RBIs. He's going to sit out against the lefty. J.D. Davis, the righty bat, surprised to see he's going to be on the bench also. Some guys taking off for them. Cincy, they'll sit McLean and the catcher Stevenson. A lot of guys out. I'm looking at a low-scoring game here. Cobb hasn't been as good on the road. Abbott's been magic. 6 of 8 starts, quality starts to start the career. So he'll get a predominantly lefty-hitting San Francisco team. Tough game here. The number's right. I'm not picking anybody in this one.
Then Brewers at Philly, continuing the theme of great pitching matchups. Burns versus Walker in this one. Burns, 3 straight quality starts. Walker in his last 6 starts, 6-0, 2.08. Was roughed up a bit more in the last 2, though. 6 runs in 12 innings in his 2 July starts versus Padres and Rays. Great pitching matchup there. You have Brewers, who evened up the series yesterday. They've been playing well since the break. They've won 5 of 6. And then Philly, they snapped the 4-game win streak yesterday. Again, tough pitching matchup. Will be a home team in this one or nothing for me with Walker. He's been great at home. Burns been great lately as well. Another tough pitching matchup, tough game would be a lean to the home team here with Philly. Brewers do get the Braves next.
Yeah, tough. This is a tough one. I don't know that the Braves next is what Milwaukee's looking ahead to. They got their lead over Cincy, come back with a big win again yesterday. They're playing good baseball, and Burns seemed to have turned it around again, looking more like the old self. 3-0, 189 in his last 3 starts, and that's with 6 shutout innings. Absolutely destroying Cincy, 13 strikeouts. That's why he only lasted 6 innings. Real Muto, the catcher, he'll sit. You always want to watch day games after night games, who's sitting out. So Real Muto will sit out for Philly in this one. And as Ben said, Walker's been dynamite, especially at home. But the last 2 games, just not great. 11 Ks only with 8 walks. Don't like that ratio. A tough game to pick. It's a pick 'em game, and that's what it is. And I'll stay off this one. Look for better spots.
Then we have division rivals here. Cardinals at Cubbies. Stroman on the bump here for the Cubs. This is maybe a snub there on the NL Cy Young top 5 that MLB post you sent me, John. Stroman should be in there. Leads league with 15 quality starts. He did have a little bit of a rough patch there. The back end of June, started July, but came back with a quality start his last time out versus Boston. St. Louis comes into the series hot. They've now won 5 straight, scoring 6.5 runs per game. They're hitting .303 since the break. And this Cubbies team just 3-3 since the break. Last time these 2 teams met in London. It's going to be Mats for the Cardinals. Just been brutal. 4 runs and 4 1/3 his last time out. This has got to be a spot here for the Cubbies and Stroman. And we talked about it before. This price has dropped. Don't get why this price has dropped. It's a clear as day pitching edge. You have the home edge and a division battle. So Cards have won 3 of 5 meetings this year, 2 of those in London. This got to be Cubs or nobody. Just too big of a pitching edge to ignore.
Man, I agree. But the Sharps, they're on the cards here. This game opened up minus Cubbies, minus 125 on the overnight. It's down to anywhere from a dime, 110 to 112 cents on the Cubs. St. Louis definitely playing better baseball, and they should be. And they're hitting the ball, and they should be. Goldschmidt, Arenado. But the Cubs have scored 25 runs in the last 2 games. That's nothing to sneeze at. Definitely have the pitching edge. Stroman was going great. He goes to that game in London. He gets banged around a little bit, leaves with an injury, and then the next couple of starts are messed up. So 3 starts, no good. But then he gets a red-hot Red Sox team, comes in, basically shuts them down. 1 run in 6 innings on 3 hits. Stroman, big pitching advantage over Mats. Cubbies stayed home last night. St. Louis had to travel. Cubs are hitting the ball as good as anybody. I'm on the Cubs just to make sure, see what the lineups look like. Cubs are nobody in this one.
Yeah, do have to. This Cardinals team, we talked about it yesterday, we keep thinking they're turning around, and then they just don't. They've now won 7 of 8. We'll see if this is the start of it. I mean, yesterday, a bullpen game versus Alcantara. That's a big win. I mean, the Sharps are seeing something here in St. Louis today, so if they can somehow pull that off against Stroman, maybe the Cards, this would be a game I could say the Cards do turn it around if they can find a way to win this one tonight. Then we have
directly ahead of them in the Central Division. You got the Brewers and Cincy fighting for that lead, which we've gave you our opinion that that's going to be Milwaukee. But then next are Cubs and St. Louis. St. Louis trying to make that move. We'll see what happens. This would be a big one for them. I just can't see the number being this low with a pitching mismatch with the Cards on the road at the Cubs. Don't see it.
Agree completely. Then we have another central matchup. This one of the AL, Tigers at Kansas City. Tigers get the win last night. They won 6 of 8 meetings this year. And this KC team now just 3-10, their last 13. Lorenzen versus Greinke. Lorenzen, 2 July starts, 11 2/3 shutout baseball, but against Seattle and Oakland. And then he did have 7 Ks, 5 walks, and 6 2/3 in the last time out with 5 walks there. Greinke going to be returning from the IL, has a little bit of a shoulder issue. You guys know the story with him. Much better at home compared to on the road. Just haven't had much success for the season at all, though. Last time I was crushed, gave up 3 homers against Minnesota. Did have a decent start versus the Tigers earlier this year. Was decent against them last year. This is a matchup. If Greinke was healthy at this price, I would be interested in the Royals as a home dog on a Tigers getaway day, back end of a 4-game series. Can't do it, those first start back, especially with Lorenzen coming off July. Just hasn't allowed a run yet. So too big of a pitching edge there for a guy coming off the IL would be Tigers or nothing.
Yeah, big pitching edge for the Tigers in KC's best player, Bobby Witt Jr., not in the lineup today. He leads the team with 16 homers, 51 RBIs. I'm Detroit and nobody on this game. Game sitting right now at $1.30. If it was to go dip down a little bit lower, I'd be interested in the Tigers.
And Twins at Seattle, another pretty good pitching matchup. Both pitchers, though, coming off bad starts. Prior to that, we're on tears. It's Lopez versus Kirby. Lopez last time out gave up 7 runs. Prior to that, had 3 straight quality starts. Kirby, gave up 6 runs off 2 homers his last time out. Prior to that, 5 straight quality starts. So 2 pitchers looking to bounce back here. We'll see who does it. Lopez has had success on the road. Yeah, Lopez is splits. He's worse at home. His last home start was a complete game shutout. His last road start, he gave up 7 runs against Oakland, but even still has a better ERA by about 1.3 on the road. So just shows how drastic that has been for him. Kirby with the K-walk ratio. Twins playing good in the series, playing good since the break. They've won 4 last 6 at Seattle. They won 5 of 6 since the break. I have a slight lean here to Minnesota on this one. Not loving what I've seen from Lopez lately, so staying away from this one, but Twins are nobody for me, John.
Yeah, sharps are on the short there, also on the Twins. They took the overnight was you could have took plus 120, now down to like 105 to 108. I don't see it now with Lopez. I'm not advocating Seattle and not playing good. I mean, I can see why they're betting the Twins. Twins are hitting the ball 7 runs per game, hitting 288 since the All-Star break. Seattle just 3.17 runs per game and batting 195. Just don't know. I got to give Kirby that pitching edge. He got hit his last time out. Before that, he'd been pitching real good baseball. I don't see a big edge there. Be another game that passed for me. Look, yesterday we had 7 games. Today, a little bit tougher to find good picks. Some days it's a lot. Some days it's a few. This game I'll stay off. I think the line is right on that one.
And then the matchup of the weekend, Orioles at Tampa Bay, 2 best teams in the best division in baseball going at it. Orioles coming off a win against the Dodgers to prevent the sweep. And this Tampa Bay team coming off another loss, got swept by Texas, made it 4 straight, and just 3-11 their last 14. They are slumping big time right now. Going to be Gibson versus Glasnow. Gibson last 5 starts, brutal, 1-2, 7.62 ERA. Does have some pretty good numbers versus the Rays, though. Last 6 starts versus the Rays, 5-1, 1.88. Had a quality start versus them earlier this year. And Glasnow, 3 July starts. He's been solid. He's coming off a quality start versus the Royals. This has got to be Baltimore or nobody. Best road team in the AL. They finally caught up to Tampa Bay. We talk about all the time, 2 teams trending in different directions. I don't think you could have asked for a better time for the Orioles to have this 4-game set at Tampa Bay. Rays do have a lot of success in the matchup there, but too big of a price here for what this division battle is.
Yeah, look how it falls. The day after Orioles finally take over, and just by percentage points, these 2 teams meet. We just gave the stat prior on June 16th. You had Tampa Bay 51-22, 29 games over 500, 9-17 since. Orioles have made up 6 games on them. Give Glasnow the pitching edge. But this team is ice cold. Not only are they ice cold, you're going to go against the Orioles, best road record in the American League, and they score the most runs on the road of any team in the major leagues. It's all about the price, guys. And this is a 2-unit bet. Orioles plus 165.
Then we have another division battle, Astros and A's. They had a series similar to this.
One will be a battle, but let's go.
They had another series like this last year coming out of the break. And A's came away with the sweep in that one. In Oakland, they swept the A's 3-0. They have won their last 2 against Boston after the 8-game losing streak. We see them been streaky this season. Do they pair together some wins here against Houston? We'll see. Colorado 3-2 since the All-Star break, scoring 7 runs per game. They just split a 2-game set with Colorado. Big old pitching advantage for them today. It's going to be France versus Harris. France was roughed up his last time out for 4 runs and 4 1/3. Prior to that, though, 6 straight quality starts. He was pitching really good baseball. And Harris, last 4 starts, 0-2, 9.64 ERA. No interest in Oakland here with that pitching mismatch. Wouldn't be surprised if they're competitive in this series. We'll see what happens. Astros really need this. We talk about, as far as purpose, trying to catch Texas in the division. They had Colorado. They get Oakland. After this 4-game set with Oakland, they get Texas. Really got to show up in this series if you're Houston.
Yeah, Houston, they were going to get Colorado and then Oakland. They split with Colorado while Texas swept Tampa Bay, who had the best record in the American League at that time. So Houston thought they might be able to make up a game. So they actually lost ground over the few days. So they've got to go to Oakland. They've got to get the job done against Oakland. They'll come in very focused, I believe, now 4.5 games back of Texas. Like I said, never thinking they'd lose ground. They hoping to pick up ground. No way can I bet Oakland this game. I actually made this line higher. So the overnight was minus 192. There was some money on Oakland overnight, but that all came back up. Looked like a phony to me where you're back up to 195, and I even make it higher than that. I'm not pulling the trigger on Houston, just that it's no way or shape or form do I want Oakland going for me.
Yeah, any other pitcher, I would be a little bit tempted at the A's just because they've been so streaky. I mean, Boston needed those wins just as bad as Houston does, and they just dropped 2 straight. So we'll see if A's can get it done here against Houston. Padres at Toronto, another great pitching matchup. Snell versus Bassitt is the theme of the card today. Snell last 10 starts, 5-1, 0.62 ERA, just been absurd. 3 July starts, 16 shutout innings. Hasn't been going as deep into games, but still just lights out. And then you have Bassitt going, who they've won his last 4 starts, 3 of them quality starts. Last time around, 2 runs versus the D-backs. Does have horrible numbers against the Padres. Roughed up by them in the NL wildcard for 3 runs in 4 innings last year. And he went 0-2, 7.84 in the regular season. So a little bit of ownership there. With that, he has been better at home. But to me, this game's Padres are nothing. You have Snell, who's been going absolutely lights out. They've already won the first 2 in this series. Jay's bats have gone dead quiet in so far. And then you mix in the fact that Bassitt's kind of owned in 3 starts by San Diego last year. Has to be a spot here for the Padres.
Yeah, well, as Ben said, Snell has been absolutely lights out. It's crazy. We went against him the last game with the Phillies. We looked dead. He was throwing a shutout at us, but he only lasted 5 innings. And that's been pretty much the theme over his last 5 starts, not more than 6 innings, and went 5 innings twice. So those numbers are great, but somebody's got to finish the games. And I just think San Diego on the road at Toronto, a good home team. Toronto came into this series red hot, winning 8 of 9 prior to this series. Cooled off now. Let's see if they can get it back on, whether it's Snell or the bullpen after they can get him out of there. I just think the price is right. For me to like San Diego, I'd have to make this $1.30, which I don't. The price is $1.15. I think that's the right price. Maybe a little high. Last game for Toronto, for San Diego in Toronto. Did they finish the sweep? We'll see. But Toronto or no one for me, but I'm not on it unless it was to go higher.
And then for the great card of great pitching matchups, this last one just disgusting. White Sox at the Mets, going to be Kopech versus Quintana. Kopech, he returned from the IL, couldn't get out of the first inning against Atlanta. 4 runs, he had 4 walks in 2/3. Now in his 0-3, 9.35 in his last 3 starts. Meanwhile, Quintana going to be making his debut for the Mets. Last time in his rehab start, 5 runs and 4 1/3. He was roughed up. He used to pitch for the White Sox for 6 years, only 1 start since versus them. Gave up 5 runs in 5 innings. 2 pitchers I really don't want to back, but this price in this game might force me on the White Sox. I'm just a ridiculous price here for Quintana. First game back. Mets, they do lead the series 2-0. They get the win yesterday. White Sox 2-2 since the break. 2-2 their last 4, 3-8 their last 11. And then this Mets team, they've now won 3 straight. Have the Mets turned it around? Who knows? I will say, if Quintana can get back to the pitcher he was last season, that's another great pitcher to add in the mix. Gives you, going to save you from those spot starts from Peterson and such. So we'll see what they get here out of Quintana. Could be a big savior to the Mets season, maybe in the chase on a wild card. But first game back, got to be White Sox or nobody here, even with Kopech being miserable his last start.
Yeah, I like when I got a good pitcher going for me, and I can't pick either one of these guys. Quintana couldn't get outs in rehab starts, and Kopech. It's one thing if you get hit and you make an adjustment. He just couldn't find his strike zone. He couldn't throw a strike. 2 pitchers not doing well. Mets just cannot be this big a favorite with Quintana on the mound. Vaughn is out for the White Sox, but unless it was Robert or somebody, just can't make it this number. It's White Sox or nobody. I don't know if the Mets got to sweep in them this year.
Yeah, if anyone has balls to back Kopech, let me know. That's a tough game right there, but really, really good Thursday card. A lot of great pitching matchups, a lot of big division battles. We'll see how it goes. 2 bets out so far. As you guys heard, we are watching a few lines as they continue to drop. Not agreeing with what some of the sharp action is doing so far, so could be adding some more bets later on today. John, 4 of 6 days, winning day since the All-Star break, coming off a big night, almost plus 7 units last night. Let's keep it hot.
Yeah, and as Ben said, we bet against the sharps occasionally. Yesterday was a perfect example for it. So we had some of our guys in the chat on the app say, because I had already put the preview up for the Arizona-Atlanta game. And usually after our regular preview, I'll give the reason we're betting a game. But we didn't actually make the bet. We didn't make the bet because Atlanta opened as a 205 favorite and was only going up. It was up to 220 at that time. So we were still waiting for how high it would go. They kept pushing it up. We finally took plus 200 on the game. So if the sharps go against what we think the number will be, we'll buck them. And we usually do so and hold our own and make some money. Sometimes we're with them, sometimes we're against them. Always looking for that edge, whichever way that might be. Sharps are going to win their share of the games. Hate to go against them, but if the number's right, the number's right. We're going to win more than our share of games.
Absolutely will, and we have so far since the All-Star break, even in the back end of May and June, was pretty solid, and we'll see if we can keep it hot. As you guys know, the last couple seasons after the All-Star break have been very profitable, and we're looking to keep that note going. John, I don't know if you have anything else here, but we do have some day games coming up.
That's it. We get matter of fact, these poor guys ain't going to see any of these 12:35 previews unless we start getting up. Try to start getting up. We'll see you guys here tomorrow. Remember, we're not here on the weekends. When you want all those games, How to Beat the Bookie, go to the website, become a member.
Yep, guys, download the app or go to howtobeatthebookie.com. Staying hot. Let's keep it going. Let's make some money, John.
Make some money.